Welcome to a weekend update edition of Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint, coming to you live from First Horizon Park here in beautiful downtown Nashville. Glad to have you guys with us. Mo, what's going on?
Not much, man. Just trying to stay cool, and if not cool, certainly hydrated.
Less than hot, if at all possible.
Yeah. It's nice being here at First Horizon Park. It's nice being outside, but under this roof, there's no breeze, and so this heat is just kind of sitting here.
It's a little rough. But we'll take it because there are far and away worse backdrops.
Well, there's worse places to be, period. But yeah, certainly worse backdrops. Yeah.
Good day at the ballpark. Never a bad day at the ballpark, let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
And there will be 3 opportunities for you guys to get out to the ballpark this weekend as the Nashville Sounds and Gwinnett Stripers, 1P, are going to finish up their 6-game set tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. And, of course, Sunday is Father's Day. It'll be a lot of fun, so come on out for a family fun day where you can meet maybe Justin. Justin Kulik might be on hand.
You may be able to meet Justin. You may be able to see someone.
Don't do that. Don't come out here for the first pitch, because I promise you it's not gonna. It's going to be rough. Well, I guess if you want entertainment,
somebody, not me, will be throwing out the first pitch prior to Sunday's 2:05 meeting between the Sounds and Gwinnett. So,
looking forward to that one. It's going to be a lot of fun to have Charlie out there and just enjoy a little ball game that afternoon. Hopefully, she will have already.
I think you should let her. I think you should let her throw out the first pitch.
I'm hoping that she can. That they'll let her. She doesn't really throw much, but we'll see.
I just think that for the good of the Yow family as a whole, it might be best for everybody involved.
Maybe
if she threw the first pitch.
Probably not a bad idea.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be a good show today. We are going to be joined by 2 different teams representatives, as from the Nashville Sounds we'll have number 7 overall prospect in the Brewers organization, Robert Gasser, will join us at 2:20. And
Gasser, who picked up the win in the series opener on Tuesday night against Gwinnett.
He does seem to be the ace of this staff to this point. And a local kid, super excited about this at 3 o'clock, former Tullahoma standout and first-round draft pick Justus Sheffield will join the show and talk about his trips around the world of baseball and what he's looking forward to in this particular part of his career, trying to get back to the major leagues, and looking forward to talking to him a little bit. Should be a lot of fun. So that Braves chatter we'll get to, of course. We've got our top story, which is pretty obvious, but we'll get to all of that. But before we do anything else, we need to get you yesterday's scores, this weekend schedule, and we do that on the Rundown.
This is the Rundown.
The Friday Rundown is brought to you by Chip Walters of Exit Realty, Bob Lamb and Associates. The voice of the Blue Raiders also wants to be your trusted advisor in real estate. Contact Chip at 615-542-1915 or through his website at choosechip.net. Chip Walters, proud to support youth sports across Middle Tennessee.
Major League Baseball action yesterday. Braves 8, Rockies 3. Cubs down the Pirates 7-2. It was the Nationals 4-1 winners over Houston in 10 innings. And the Guardians with an 8-6 win over San Diego. Minor league play, the Sounds secure no less than a split of the series as they defeat Gwinnett 5-3 yesterday. WNBA action in overtime. It was Atlanta 92, Connecticut 88. Indiana was a 92-90 winner over Chicago, and the Las Vegas Aces left nothing on the floor as they destroy the Seattle Storm 96-63. In soccer last night, United States downed Mexico 3-0 in a shortened affair.
Sue Bird ain't walking through that door.
No, she's not.
Yep. Summer baseball action this weekend. Post-19 seniors will be in action over at MTSU's Reese Smith Field. Played an 11-15 contest this morning against G1 Athletics. If that one's not done, it should be finishing up because they were also scheduled for a 1:30 matchup against East Cobb Astros 615. Tomorrow, Post-19 will play the Throwback 17U team. That's a 3:45 start, allegedly. And on Sunday at 11:15, they are scheduled to play against the LBA Middle Tennessee Titans. Major League Baseball this weekend of area interest. The Rockies and Braves continue their series at Truist Park.
Field is in Charlotte.
Field is in Charlotte. Park is in Cobb County. There we go. The Orioles are at the Cubs. The Cardinals are at the Mets. The Reds are at Houston. Pittsburgh is at Milwaukee. Tampa Bay goes to San Diego. And in minor league action, this series here at First Horizon Park continues as the Zolos take on the Vihuelas at 6:35 tonight. And tomorrow's game between Gwinnett and the Sounds will be available for viewing on Stadium Network.
Will, in fact. College baseball action this weekend. Oral Roberts and TCU are in progress up in Omaha, Virginia, and Florida at 6 p.m. on ESPN tonight. Tomorrow, Stanford and Wake Forest at 1 o'clock on ESPN. And Tennessee LSU at 6 in the nightcap, also on ESPN. Surprise, surprise. WNBA action this weekend tonight. Phoenix is at Washington. That's on Ion Network at 7 and a doubleheader on the Ion Network as Minnesota goes to LA for a 9 p.m. tip. Tomorrow, Commissioner's Cup action. It's the Storm at the Wings. That's a 1 o'clock tip on CBS. Sunday at 11 a.m. on CBS, it's the Phoenix Mercury at the New York Liberty. At 2 o'clock on Twitter, you can see Chicago and Washington. At 3 o'clock on CBS Sports Network, it's Atlanta and Indiana, or the Dream Fever, not Fever Dream. Connecticut is at LA at 6:30. That one's not on television anyway. And Minnesota closes out at 8 o'clock at Las Vegas on NBA TV.
CFL action, the Canadian Football League. 12 players, everybody in motion, short field, blah, blah, blah. Saskatchewan is at Winnipeg at 8 o'clock tonight on CBS Sports Network. Tomorrow at 6 on same network, you've got British Columbia at Edmonton. And on Sunday, Hamilton is at Toronto. That's at 6 on CBS Sports Network. In the USFL, Saturday, New Jersey goes to Pittsburgh for a 12 noon kickoff on USA Network. Goes to Pittsburgh. Yeah. Birmingham is at Memphis at 3 on Fox. And on Sunday, New Orleans is at Houston at 3.
In Memphis.
Yeah, exactly. That's a 3 o'clock kick on FS1 and at 6 o'clock on Fox. This one's actually in Michigan, right?
Yep.
Philadelphia. Chris Rowland and the gang are at Michigan. That's a 6 o'clock start on Fox. Seeing nothing else, that is your rundown.
Today's top story comes from the National Basketball Association, where today Adam Silver, the NBA's commissioner, announced a 25-game suspension for Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant in response to the situation that took place with the firearm on Instagram Live. And as we said, leading up to this thing, 25 games sounded about right.
Felt about right. I mean, it's a little over a quarter of the season. When you take taking into consideration the situation that Gilbert Arenas found himself in a few years back, he and Javaris Crittenden, guns in the locker room. Who brought them? Who knows? Gilbert is denying that at this point, but at any rate, he got 50 games for that. That was in an arena with the team around. This was out of season. No teammates were involved. And it's open carry. So taking all that into consideration, to me, 20 to 25 games felt about right. So,
Yeah, and the only reason that he got 25 is because he was a repeat offender. I mean, if this was the first time, he might have gotten the 8 that he got the first time, or what, and that sort of thing. But
I will say this: I know it's basketball, but this may be a 3 strikes situation for Ja. I don't think this needs to happen again.
No, his career's on the line at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. So Ja, obviously, do you have his statement? I've got the NBA statement. Let's read the NBA statement while you.
Yeah, while I look for Ja's statement. Yeah.
All right. So NBA Communications announced today Memphis Grizzlies guard Ja Morant has been suspended 25 games without pay for conduct detrimental to the league. That's about $12 million. We know what happened. The league office found that Morant intentionally and prominently displayed a gun while in the car with several other individuals. His suspension begins immediately and will remain in effect through the first 25 games of the 2023-24 season, for which he is otherwise eligible and able to play. He will also be required to meet certain conditions before he returns to play and will be ineligible to participate in any league or team activities, including preseason games during the course of his suspension. Public league or team activities. Public league or team activities. So can he work out with the team? Can he practice?
I'm sure between now and then there will be clarification on that. Yeah.
Ja Morant's decision to once again wield a firearm on social media is alarming and disconcerting given his similar conduct in March, for which he was already suspended 8 games, said NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. The potential for other young people to emulate Ja's conduct as participating is particularly concerning. Under these circumstances, we believe a suspension of 25 games is appropriate and makes clear that engaging in reckless and irresponsible behavior with guns will not be tolerated. For Ja, basketball needs to take a back seat at this time. Prior to his return to play, he will be required to formulate and fulfill a program with the league that directly addresses the circumstances that led him to repeat this destructive behavior. Strong words from Adam Silver.
Yeah, a little bit of overstatement to me, but anyway. I've had time to reflect, and I realize how much hurt I've caused. I want to apologize to the NBA, the Grizzlies, my teammates, and the city of Memphis. To Adam Silver, Zach Kleeman, and Robert Pera, who gave me the opportunity to be a professional athlete and have supported me. I'm sorry for the harm I've done. To the kids who look up for me, I'm sorry for failing you as a role model. I promise I'm going to be better. To all of my sponsors, I'm going to be a better representation of our brands. And to all of my fans, I'm going to make it up to you, I promise. I'm spending the off-season and my suspension continuing to work on my own mental health and decision-making. I'm also going to be training so that I'm ready to go when I can be back on the court. I know my teammates are going to hold it down, and I'm so sorry I won't be out there with you at the beginning of the season. I hope you'll give me the chance to prove to you over time I'm a better man than what I've been showing you. That's from Demetrius Jamel Morant.
Again, I think the big question here is, and it doesn't sound like he is intending or has any ability to be with the team at this point. So perhaps he isn't able, but it did say public league and team activities. So maybe it was just public league or team activities, and team activities including practice, etc.
Yeah, like I said, I feel like we're going, before it matters, we're going to know what the answer is to that.
That's an interesting, that is just,
yeah,
being who we are and what we do. Words matter. And the context of the words matter. So, but again, this is a situation where Ja Morant I feel like this is it. I mean, it cost him a supermax contract, cost him at least $7.5 million, up to 12 for over this 25. So he's going to have to figure it out.
No doubt. No doubt. I mean, in today's parlance, he has certainly fumbled the bag. And, that's money that you're not going to make back. Now, fortunately, Nike did announce that they are not going to drop him. So there's that. I think that there are some sponsors that
Powerade. I think they immediately took down the ad when we talked to Teresa Walker about this. She mentioned they took down the ad, but I'm not sure if they have quit paying him for any future endeavors.
Right.
So, yeah, there you have it. That's today's top story, brought to you by our friends at Piggly Wiggly and Neely's Mill in Columbia. Make sure to go see Jody and fine folks over at Piggly Wiggly. Get a deli plate or some fresh hand cut meats.
Now that's Jody with a Y, right?
I think so.
Not Jody with an I.
I don't know the answer.
Unless she's been holding out on me.
Well, yeah, I don't think she's holding out on you.
Okay.
Right. But yeah, so go see the fine folks there. They are fantastic and do a fantastic job. We've got Robert Gasser, who is literally
in the bullpen,
standing by.
Yeah, he's warming up.
He is not outstanding in the field though.
I don't know. He's 5-1.
When he is outstanding in the field, he is outstanding in his field.
In his field, no question.
So, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, it will be all gas, no brakes. Robert Gasser on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. To the Mobile Lee Company studio, we return after this.
Been waiting on that one, haven't you?
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today.
Welcome back to Today's Better Health. I'm Colleen Barton, and I'm here with Dr. Gil Kentoff and Dr. Wendy Toohey, and we're talking about the latest treatments in back and neck pain.
Many people, Colleen, come to see us with neck and back pain, and they develop tingling and numbness down the arm or lower back pain that develops into sciatica shooting down their leg. And for these patients, we have an advanced treatment technology, non-surgical decompression therapy that we really introduced to this area. It separates the vertebrae and creates a suction to allow fluids and nutrients back in to heal the disc naturally, relieving pressure on the nerve and on the joint. It's an amazing treatment.
We've been helping patients like this for the last 30 years, helping them get back to work, get back to their family, get back to the life they want to live.
I mean, it really is amazing. Technology helping us to live pain-free and better lives.
Right.
And I bet you have a special offer.
The first 25 callers will receive an examination, x-rays, review of our findings, and their first treatment, all for $39.
Call 615-551-3897 today to receive this special offer.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Tennessee. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the TSSAA.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Chris Yow and Mo Patton here with you in the Mobile League Company studio, joined now by Brewers number 7 overall prospect and what we believe, Mo, is the ace of this Nashville Sound staff, and that is Robert Gasser. Robert, thanks for taking some time with us, man.
Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Hey, as the ace, got this series off to a good start, as we mentioned in the first segment, picked up the victory in the Sound's 11-3 win over Gwinnett on Tuesday, improving to 5-1 on the year with 4.65 ERA and 72 strikeouts in 62 innings. That ain't bad.
Yeah, we'll take it.
First full year in AAA?
Yeah.
What's the transition been like for you?
It was really beneficial getting a little taste of it last year, coming just getting familiar with Jeremy. But this year it's nice coming back comfortable. Start of the year, it's kind of just trying to find my groove again, just finding the strike zone more consistently. But as the season's kind of picked up,
clearly has done that.
Yeah, walks have gone down, and results are a little bit better.
And that's, when you're throwing more strikes, obviously you have to lean on the defense a little bit. You've got some veterans behind you, which probably gives you a little bit of confidence, huh?
Yeah. Well, it's definitely helpful on defense, but when they're putting up 8 runs,
that doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, it gives you a little confidence up there.
Just find the strike zone, put it in it, let them work, and you're good to go. Well, and certainly that has been a recipe for success this year for you. Is that something that you are hoping that will translate as hopefully your career moves forward?
Yeah, I mean, as you can climb higher, guys are able to hit more pitches. So, throwing them in the zone and throwing them in good locations and relying on that defense behind you because, they're there to do their job too. So when you got confidence in them making plays and, getting guys out, it's really helpful pitching.
This team, I think, is now like 3 games over 500. You got to like the way you guys as a team are playing right now, starting to find your groove as a team, I guess.
Yeah. It seems like almost every series we've split the series. So, it's kind of good because, seems like we're a couple pitches away every game from, winning those 4-2. So, our record, I think, doesn't necessarily, I think it's going to get better as the season goes on just because, guys are consistent and we got a lot of veteran precedents.
Yeah, and we've talked to Jeff Hamm, the play-by-play announcer for the Sounds, fairly regularly over the course of the season. Been a lot of movement, even as Milwaukee is having the success that they've had. There's been a lot of movement between their roster and y'all's roster. Eventually, as their injuries start to heal and they start to solidify their roster with guys that they expected to have from the start, some of those folks are going to start trickling back down. And like you said, you would think that's going to have a positive impact on y'all.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially, guys up and down the lineup have been good all year, coming in and out. So kind of once those lineups get solidified, I guess, guys are going to get their consistent at-bats and, things are only going to keep going up from there.
Certainly helps when you're getting guys back, too.
Yeah.
From the injury list.
Yeah, that definitely helps. I think we got Van Meter on his way back, too. So that's another guy who's, been up there and, knows the way around winning ball clubs. So excited to have all those guys.
Robert Gasser of the Nashville Sounds joining us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Robert, you mentioned that you kind of got a taste of AAA last year, 5 appearances, 2-2. What's the difference in that short stint that you spent here last year and being able to actually settle in this time around?
I think it's just like seeing names that you've seen on TV before and like, approaching them as, somebody you can get out, not necessarily, as a fan of somebody's like, oh, I've seen this guy on TV. I got a little starstruck last year, but this year it's, especially during spring training, getting a taste of that, just kind of help, calm me down and realize that like I can compete at the highest level. So hopefully I get an opportunity for that.
Well, and not only are those guys you're facing have been on TV, but a lot of the guys in your clubhouse have. What kind of impact does that have on you as a young player?
Yeah, I mean, it's, hitters, especially for me, pitchers, there's a ton of them. A lot of the guys you just sit around with and talk and listen.
That the listening part, that's important, right?
Yeah, that's crucial. Sometimes I forget about that, but I do my best to soak it all in, especially just like sitting in watching bullpens and seeing guys throw and just how they go after their work. So I think that's kind of really beneficial for me.
Who's been a guy that you've kind of looked to on this team so far that's helped you get to this point?
My roommate Caleb Bosley has been doing it for a while, and he's got a very consistent approach, and it seems like every time he goes out there, he's kind of just the same person, and has a plan and knows what makes him good. So kind of realizing, like, looking at him, it's been helpful. Especially as a roommate, he can kind of converse about baseball or life and all that good stuff. So we've we're good friends.
So what do you do after day one after your start? You've obviously you're going to rest, you're going to stretch, but what does today look like 4 days later or 3 days later?
Yeah, I got a bullpen today, a bullpen and an upper body lift. So I'll do those things for the game, and then probably maybe get in the cold tub if we're feeling brave, and then just go watch a game, kind of keep following the hitters a little bit, and get ready for the game on Sunday.
Sit out here long enough, you'll want that. You'll get in the cold tub for sure.
Yeah, it's starting to get hot out here.
It's starting to get hot here in just the summers. It's June now in Nashville, so you never know. It could be 72 or it could be 92.
Yeah. It was nice on Monday. I played some golf with some nice overcast 72 weather.
Yeah,
so that was great.
Yeah.
Where'd you play?
Greystone
over in Dixon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Made a little trip, but it was worth it.
Okay.
It was a good time.
Yeah. Originally drafted by the Padres, involved in the trade that sent Josh Hader to San Diego. What's it like getting traded?
It was pretty crazy. I was actually on the golf course for that. So that was pretty,
you spend a lot of time on the golf course.
Yeah, I try to fill my time with some more sports. That's all I really enjoy. But
and he doesn't have to swing a bat anymore, so swinging a golf club's fine.
Yeah,
nobody gets mad at you.
I was never good at swinging a bat, so
that's why
I'm not the best at golf either. But
but you get your money's worth, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
There you go.
I lose a little bit, gain it a little bit. We'll see. But yeah, it was crazy. So I was on the course, got the call. Pretty much finished the round not very well, and then went to the field, packed my bags, went home, packed the rest of my personal stuff, and was on a flight the next day to Mississippi. And it was crazy because you just got to pick up your whole life and move on. But it was really cool to just like kind of see that and get to be a part of that, and get put into the organization and feel like they're invested in you. And yeah, it was really cool process.
And I guess that's the way you have to look at it, that another organization is invested in you, and not necessarily that the initial organization didn't necessarily want you.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I had nothing but good things for the Padres. So
he's like, hey, look, I got traded for the best closer in baseball at the time, so I'm good. You'll take that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna be forever linked to Josh Hader. So there's that.
Yeah, for real.
You mentioned off the air before we got on, as you were asking about us in the area and that kind of thing, while you were in the Padres organization, you played with a local kid, Robert Hassel III, who played at Independence before the Padres drafted him, who has since been traded as well.
Yeah.
So Padres doing some things here over the last year or so for whatever it's been worth. Do you look back over there? I mean, I guess you still got some guys over there as well.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of my buddies still over there. It's like they were my draft class. We kind of just, worked our way up together, for the short year and a half that we had. But, I'm still like talking to those guys. Hopefully I'll get to see them over the All-Star break and play some golf. I think one of me and my buddies are playing something, so we'll see.
So now will you try to go home over the break, back to NorCal?
The flight's a little far, and it's kind of just like, I don't think it's worth the travel. I think I'd rather just drive to a nice spot and relax there for a couple days, and get back on Thursday night and head to Louisville Friday. I think is what it is. Louisville, maybe. Yeah,
that would make sense because I think the season started with that 3-game set, so another 3-game set.
So another Friday, Saturday,
sense.
Sunday. Yeah. Hey, one of the few things about this schedule that makes sense. But hey, anyway, you didn't say that. No, I'll say that.
We'll say it. Yeah, there's no question there.
Yeah.
But when you are a top 10 prospect in an organization, is there like a a meeting that you guys have and say, hey, this is what we want for you? Don't get frustrated if you don't go up because we want you to get a year at AAA. Do they kind of give you an idea of what to expect?
I mean, not totally. You know, you have your own expectations and thoughts that you bring, and you know, I think that you can either take it as pressure or you can, you know, use it to motivate you to keep working. So I think the beginning of the year kind of I placed a little pressure on myself because, you know, obviously that's the ultimate goal and that's where you want to get. But you know, at the end of the day, we're just playing a game, and you know, I'm lucky to be able to play it and do pretty well at times. So you know, if I just go out there and have fun, it makes it a little bit easier to have success.
And I guess the big thing that you really want to do is just make them have to make a decision, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's all you can do. I mean, the only thing you control is yourself and, you know, your actions and your thoughts and, you know, how you show up every single day. So as long as you can, you know, do those things and go to bed and, you know, be confident that you did it to your best ability, you know, that's all you can do.
Robert Gasser again here with us on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. And minor league is a little different, but how's Nashville been for you? It's a kind of a major league town. We got 2 major league teams, so it's not exactly Biloxi.
No,
which I love, by the way.
No, yeah, Biloxi it was nice for the time that I was there. But no, Nashville is great. I don't think you're going to find a city in minor league baseball that's better than Nashville. I mean, there's just endless things to do. You know, great food, great golf. But yeah, I'm pumped to be here. You know, it's so nice showing up every day and having, you know, just a boatload of fans out there. You know, Tuesday or Sunday doesn't matter. It's always packed out here, so it's great.
Robert, looking back, you initially signed with New Mexico out of high school, spent a year at the junior college level, finished up at Houston before the draft. This may be about as long as you've spent in one place since you left high school.
Yeah, I've thought about that, and it's, you know, almost felt like I've been preparing to get traded for the last couple of years. But yeah, it's really nice. You know, it was, like I said earlier, like being able to play here last year was really helpful because, like, you know, it's one of the first times in a while that I've gotten back to a place and, you know, been there before. So, like, you know, you show up, you feel a little more comfortable because you know the environment that you're in. So, you know, I'm really glad that I'm here for another year.
So in this day and time, and I'm a dinosaur, but I mean, you're from the West Coast. You know, you may or may not be here for any extended period of time. Do you have a vehicle here, or do you just Uber all over the place?
I do have a vehicle. I did not have a vehicle last year, and it was a huge regret. So I made the trip. I drove from you know, Arizona to Nashville for the season, 2 days. Just got in the car and, you know, did like 8 hours one day and then like 12 the next. So it was a grind, but, you know, it's very nice having a car here.
And it's worth it to have a car here.
No doubt in my mind.
That's interesting. That's a question I would have never come up with, but yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You know, okay, what do I do here?
I covered these guys for a pretty good while, and so I mean, I don't know all of the ins and outs of being a minor league baseball player, but I know a few, and the
mid-90s would have been a little different too.
Yeah, I mean, there was no Uber or anything like that. It's probably a little easier to get around nowadays without a car, but at the same time, me personally, I like being able to go out, get in my car, and go wherever it is I want to go.
Whenever I want to go, and I have to wait 30 minutes for them to get here.
Or
in Nashville,
longer.
You never know when it's going to get here.
Right.
But,
so
on the road, we like to ride the little scooters around. They got those in town, so it's good to have those things.
You know,
place to place.
The front office may not want to hear that.
Yeah, you want to calm down.
Proud of you. My bad.
Oh man, well, Robert, we appreciate you being here with us, man. It's been really cool to talk to you, and looking forward to more of what you're doing here. We have been big fans ever since. We loved having Gasser and Junk on the same team. Thought that was one of the cooler things in minor league baseball. So
yeah, I love that one. That's a great combo.
Exactly. I don't know how you get better than that, but we appreciate you taking some time to stop by here and talking to us.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
We're going to take a break and come back. We'll talk Braves. It's Braves Chatter right after this on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Stick around.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think about calling for a ride. Nah, You live nearby. What's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone.
Tired of hanging lights every year? We get it. That's why Southern Nights is here to help. We install programmable lighting on your home or business so you can enjoy beautiful, customizable lighting all year round. No more ladders, tangled lights, or cold nights outside. We do the work, you do the celebrating. Call Southern Nights today and take the hassle out of holiday lighting forever. For a free quote, give us a call at 931-241-3074 or visit our Facebook page at Southern Nights.
Vroom, vroom. Time for the Rackley Roofing 200, and it is going to be June 23rd out at the Nashville Super Speedway. And we partnered up, all of us here at Main Street Media TV, and we have joined with Rackley Roofing to send you. Yep, what you got to do to win? All you got to do is go to your favorite Main Street Media website, look for the Enter to Win banner, click there, and you're in. Like Flynn. Isn't that cool? Main Street Media TV and Rackley Roofing sending you to the races.
Hockey in Music City just hits different. It's one big honky-tonk party. It's the sea of gold in the crowd, the goals, the saves, the celebrations. It's an experience like no other. Experience Predators hockey all season long. Visit NashvillePredators.com/season tickets and join the Loyal Legion today. That's NashvillePredators.com/tickets, and we'll see you at Bridgestone Arena.
June 16th, 1916, Tom Hughes improved to 6-2 on the year, striking out 7 in a 2-0 no-hit victory over the visiting Pirates. The right-handed Hughes finished the year 16-3 as Boston wound up third in the National League. That was this day in Braves history.
Oh, this day in Braves history.
Another win.
A dub. We'll take a dub.
Yeah.
No question there. Hey, before we get into the Braves, well, first of all, let me get ready for the Braves segment.
There we go.
All right, that's better.
Because as the late John Witherspoon would say, you got to coordinate.
You got to coordinate. That's right. Tonight, we mentioned in the rundown, it's not Sounds and Stripers.
No, it's the Vihuelas and the Xolos.
The Xolos.
Xolos. Xolos, which is
hopefully they score Xolo, they don't win.
A Xolo is a hairless dog. It's the national dog of Mexico, and a Vihuela, as we all know, is a Spanish guitar.
It's one of them, but the Spanish version.
Yeah, but this is part of minor league baseball's Copa de la Diversion, the Fun Cup. It's an initiative by minor league baseball to promote the sport and connect its teams to their Hispanic/Latino communities. Teams adopt a culturally relevant on-field persona for certain games, and thus you've got the visiting Xolos and the host Vihuelas tonight at 6:35. 6:35.
Oh, I thought you were trying to say First Horizon Park, and I was like, huh?
I had 2 years of Spanish in high school and a semester in college, so every now and then I break it out.
Let's see here. A hairless dog.
A hairless dog.
But it's the national dog of Mexico.
Yeah. The breed has existed for over 3,000 years, according to the GhostStripers.com website. Dating back to the Aztec Empire when they were revered as guardians and protectors. Modern day Cholos are known for intelligence, loyalty, and athleticism. Traits that our team personifies every game at Coolray Field. I like it. I like it. Gwinnett County is home to a thriving Hispanic community of nearly 200,000, the majority of which are of Mexican descent. So,
man, how about that?
How about that?
So, no hair of the dog. If
no, not hair of the dog.
No,
hairless dog. So
Nazareth.
You're on your own. If
Yeah.
you get in a place where you need hair of the dog, don't call on the Cholos.
No.
Because there is none.
You have to call Nazareth. Atlanta with a win last night over the Rockies, 8-3. Did they hit a home run?
They did, in fact, hit a home run.
But it was late because the first 6 runs were not home runs.
First 7 runs were not home runs. But the eighth
was. We didn't need that one.
The 8th was Matt Olson. Another towering shot
into the chop house.
Close, near the chop house, basically about where Jody and I were sitting last October when we went down on Saturday night to see them in the Mets.
Gotcha.
Which was kind of irritating because they hit home runs that night, but none close to us.
Not anywhere near you, huh?
Yeah, but that one was close. Yeah, Matt Olson, 19 home runs, 50 RBIs, maybe.
Yeah, he's pretty close.
He's close.
And Ozzie Albies now number 2 in the National League with 47.
Isn't that something?
You'll take that.
You will.
You'll take the top 2 RBI getters on your team anytime. And sack flies, doubles, they were getting runs in any way they could possibly get them last night. And that's what when the Braves are.
When they're actually manufacturing runs as opposed to sitting back waiting on the 3-run homer. Yeah.
Scary. It worked out, obviously. Ozzie in the 2-hole, Matt in the 5-hole. Everybody looked pretty good last night. You'll take that. AJ Smith-Shawver with a really good outing. 3 runs over, was it 5.2? 5 2/3. Now, Michael Tonkin comes in the game in the 7th inning.
6.
Well, okay, so it's 3.1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he comes in the 6th and wasn't having a great night until Rick Krenitz came out and chewed his rear end, it appeared. What did he say to him?
I don't know what he said, but whatever he said, he needs to put it on a voice memo. So he can go back out and say it again. Yeah.
We're going to start sending Marcell Ozuna out to the mound for these pitching.
You're the best.
So all I'm saying is, I'm assuming, my guess is that at some point Kranitz was like, hey, man, rookie's trying to get his first win. You going to come out here and screw it up for him?
Right.
No. Get it done. And boy, did he. Got the save in the 5-run game.
Yeah,
he pitched
6 strikeouts in 3 1/3.
Pitched 3 innings.
Got
the save.
Yeah.
And this was his second appearance since coming back from the IL. So
that sounds right.
Tonkin, obviously coming off injury and looking solid out of the pen.
The day after a doubleheader.
Yeah.
You really kind of needed that.
You needed a guy who could save your bullpen a few innings because there's no days off. They hadn't had a day off in forever. And so, well, I guess the rain delay, but
I don't know that really counts as a day off because you were expecting to play. They had a day off. They had a day off before the Arizona series and after, did they not?
Yeah, but that was it.
Yeah.
No, did they have after or was it 2 days? They had 2 days in there one time. Because that was weird.
Yeah, it was.
But either way, I mean,
yes, they had a day off after the Arizona series. They came back home, and then they started the series against the Mets that Tuesday. But they are in a stretch of 3, 6, 9, 11 straight. They'll be off Monday.
And giving your bullpen a chance to rest a little bit is huge. So,
yeah, because you don't know from one day to the next when you're going to need them. So anytime you can, minimize their use, it's a good thing. You've got Jared Schuster going today. So you hope he can give you 5 or 6 solid, and you don't have to go out there too often today.
Well, I wish I could tell you how to say this guy's name. Dinelson Lamet.
Dinelson Lamet, former Padre.
Well, he's 1-3 on the year with a 10.38 ERA.
Yikes.
So, I mean, I'm just saying.
Gas can.
Yeah.
As opposed to gasser.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't give up a lot of home runs, though.
It's okay. We don't need a lot of home runs.
26 strikeouts in 20 innings worked, but he's also walked 15, given up 24 earned runs, but only 3 home runs against the National League.
I still kind of, I feel like the Joe Simpson quote applies here.
We're going to score.
We're going to score some runs off this guy.
Yeah. Eric Fetty's pitching. We're going to score some runs off this guy. Now it's Dinelson. Not Don Nelson.
No, Dinelson.
Look, man, I don't have a
pronunciation guy.
Pronunciation in front of me.
Yeah.
4 games against Colorado right now. You need to win these. You need to win 3 at least, and because Miami's playing Washington, by the way, so the Marlins aren't going anywhere at this point.
I don't believe they are, and I mean I don't know again what Alcantara has done here of late, but he had not been himself, up to this point.
Well, in his last outing, he went 7, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks.
There you go.
So if Alcantara's back, they're even scarier.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're 5 games back now, but don't look in the rearview mirror. Objects may be closer than they appear.
Don't look back. Somebody may be gaining on you.
And you don't want to see that. You just want to keep running, run your race and win your games. And when you're playing the Rockies, Mo, you got to win them.
Yeah. You certainly have to take advantage of a team that's, 13 games under 500. If you've got the best record in the league. So,
read an article today when you guys were talking about it before the show about the ABS system. Rob Manfred has said that it's unlikely that it will be ready for big leagues next year, but could be very soon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've seen some good, some bad, and you got some interesting information about that today.
Yeah. So apparently the automatic strike zone is just set up based on a player's height, not based on his stance.
Unless
they have played at the major league level.
At any point.
At any point in their career, whether it was last year or
8 years
ago.
as so is the case for some folks.
Yeah. So, and so if you have come back to the minors and adjusted your stance, then you may be getting penalized for a previous stance. So yeah, it's a work in progress and it's going to need some tweaking. And for some reason, I feel confident that tweaking will get done.
Yeah.
Hopefully that will be borne out.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's too much technology available for guys, when they get the call up that they have to go into a room where they get 3D imaged or whatever for their strike zone while they're batting and that sort of thing. And I'm sure there's some way to make that change at the major league level for sure. So,
but I mean, we talked to Doug Scopel here a few weeks ago, and it feels like everybody thinks the ABS challenge, which is what will be in place here tonight and tomorrow and Sunday, is far and away the better option of the two automated strike zones that are being used at the AAA level, as opposed to just a straight ABS where, the umpire actually makes the call, and then if the batter, the catcher, or the pitcher takes issue with it, they can immediately challenge it, and then they go to the automated system to see what the pitch was.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what's going to happen.
But again, those strike zones are going to need a little tweaking from batter to batter, depending on, their stance and other things. But I feel like it's heading in the right direction.
I think there's some sentiment among the group that we made. I think there's some sentiment among the group that we made had a lot of changes here.
This is a quote?
Yes, from Rob Manfred.
Oh, well.
We ought to let the dust settle, and there are clearly unresolved operational issues with respect to ABS. Despite all the testing, we still have some things that are unresolved, and that's going to happen. Look, talking here about the computerized strike zone, we get all of that. So I do think that this is interesting, and I do feel like they're going to find they're going to find a happy medium and a way to fix these issues, and that's what's going to happen in the near future. Because, man, if you look at the umpire scorecards on Twitter, it gets pretty rough sometimes. And then you got some who are fantastic and who are great, and then the ABS system will never be a problem for them. But anyway, we've got a guest standing by. Do you want to go to him?
We can.
Early? No reason not to.
You want to take a break? Come back? Get to it?
Let's take a break.
Okay.
And former Tullahoma star Justus Sheffield will join us here on Main Street Sports Today in the Mobile Lee Company studio. So you guys stick with us, and we'll be right back after this. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
You can't see the sights without the sounds. From the crack of the bat to the roar of the crowd and everything in between, discover what Hit City has to offer. Spend your nights cheering on the Nashville Sounds at First Horizon Park with giveaways, fireworks shows, theme weekends, and more. Single game tickets are on sale now. Visit NashvilleSounds.com to claim your seat today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.com.
This is Chris Yow with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat.
She's on Thinking Out Loud, presented by Regions, and Out of Pocket with Alyssa Lang. It is, in fact, Alyssa Lang.
I'm a little nervous. I'm going to lower the bar for guests now.
Oh, no.
Like, apologies in advance. It sounds like
SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey.
You got that radio voice.
I do.
It's a good sound.
Thanks for radio too.
As do we. And then here's the other thing. You guys, you're spot on with the name. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. Everybody wants to be on Main Street. So,
and we reach every Main Street in Middle Tennessee, Coach.
Yeah, that's it. So
Perfect.
when you are on Main Street and you are moving,
you gotta love it.
Like you're moving. I was impressed.
I'm glad someone. We are back live at First Horizon Park here, where the Nashville Sounds and Gwinnett Stripers are amidst a 6-game set. Nashville 3-0 in this 6-game set, but the guy sitting between Mo and myself will be looking to change that tomorrow night. But until then, he's going to hang out with us here, and that is former Tullahoma star and former first-round draft pick, Justice Sheffield. Justice, thanks for taking some time with us, man.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on.
Justice, you look good in that shirt.
I appreciate it.
I mean,
I'm telling you, it feels good wearing it.
Being from Tullahoma, did you grow up a Braves fan?
Oh yeah. Used to go down back when it was Turner Field, and go down there with pops and my brothers, and watch the games. And it's only a couple hour drive, so. And, that was the team that was always on TV when we were growing up. So,
drafted 31st overall by Cleveland in 2014. Spent some time with the Yankees. Actually made your major league debut with the Yankees in 2018. Spent the last few years with Seattle, appearing in the majors in 19, the entire 20 season, 21 and 22. Signed as a free agent with Atlanta earlier this spring, and assigned to Gwinnett. So it's kind of been a long time coming for you to get to this organization. But in the short time that you've been with the Braves, what have you figured out?
Well, for one, the organization over here is incredible. They sent me down to. I started off over in Seattle out of the bullpen this year. First time I legit went to the bullpen. So then when I signed over here, first thing they said was, "Hey man, you're a starter. We're gonna make you a starter again." So they sent me down to Venice, Florida, where their spring training is, and I was down there for about a month and a half, pretty much, working on some delivery mechanic things, and just building up to become a starter again. Started at 2 innings to 3 innings, then 4 innings, 5 innings. And so on, and then finally, got out to Gwinnett last week. But yeah, the organization's been great. The people I've been working with have been awesome. They really did a deep dive in, my work on the field, kind of mechanically and things like that. So just being able to kind of break things down and kind of get back to just keeping things simple and going out there and competing. So yeah, it's been a good turnover over here.
Kind of struggled this spring with Tacoma. What was your mindset when you kind of hit the streets and eventually got re-signed by the Braves and went down to Venice and started working your way back?
Yeah. I was out in the pen, like I said, for the first time. So that was like pretty new for me, because it's a completely different mindset going from starter to the bullpen. so that transition, it was a little tough on me at first. Just trying to figure out where I fit in and out there in the bullpen. What my role really was. It was kind of tough. It was nobody really told me like what my role was. So going out there and just trying to get outs and things like that, just didn't work out the way I wanted to. But like I said, coming out on the other side, I feel like it's a blessing in disguise. Being able to put the hometown team colors on, and play for a team I grew up loved watching and still watch to this day, especially these past couple years that they've been going on these runs. So just to be able to hopefully be a part of that in the near future with this organization, that's exciting for me and my family.
And as you look at the Braves pitching situation right now, in particular, I would imagine you have to feel like there's some opportunity there.
Oh yeah, 100%. But I don't really look too far ahead in the future. I feel like that's when things can kind of go different direction of kind of how you want it. So I'm just taking it day by day. Honestly, I'm enjoying playing here with my new teammates, new group, new coaches. Like I said, no complaints. Everything's been great. But like I said, just taking it day by day, getting better day by day, and working on my game, because I know eventually, if I work on my game and it gets back to where I was or even better, then I'll be in a good spot and I'll be exactly where I want to be.
Kind of like what you said about Robert Gasser. Make them make a decision. Make them tell you that we're either coming or you're going to have to stay. Now, that being said, when you're dealing with minor leagues and all of that, all the things that go along with that, with the travel and whatnot, how much of a struggle is it to keep your mindset like, okay, I've got to focus on just work and not deal with all the outside stuff, because there is a lot of outside stuff when it comes to minor league baseball.
Oh yeah. I say it's a lot easier now. Being over in Seattle since 19, I was up for those couple years and had some good runs up top. And when you get sent back to the minor leagues after having a little bit of success up in the big leagues, I feel like that's when it's the hardest, especially with the same organization. Because now you're not only trying to go out there and perform, you're trying to perform and impress the guys that you already impressed before. You're trying to show them that you still got it and that you can still do it. So that kind of weighs heavy on you, especially being with the same organization, like I said, past couple years. But having to go through that and learn from that situation, it's way easier, way funner to go out there just to worry about yourself, worry about where you're at, and where your feet's at.
Do you feel like Atlanta gave you a clean sheet? Now, you said they did a deep dive into you, but this is kind of a new opportunity and folks who clearly believe in you or they wouldn't have signed you.
Yeah, 100%. From day one, Paul Davis, actually, he was my pitching coach over in Seattle up in 2019, up in the big leagues. He's the pitching coordinator over here. So the next day that I got let go by Seattle, he's the one that texted me and said, "Hey, like I'm texting our GM, our assistant GM, and I'm gonna let him know like we want you. I believe in you. I think you could still."
Well, you had success with him.
Exactly, and he's seen me, at my highest. Baseball's crazy, small world. Everything kind of comes full circle. So, I'm the type of guy that always wants to keep those relationships open, just in case if any other situations like this happen. Then, it's crazy how opportunities just kind of come open.
It's nothing like having somebody in your corner, though, is it?
Oh yeah. When somebody's got your back and believes in you and still believes that you can go do it, it's that kind of lifts off a weight off your shoulder for sure.
Getting the start tomorrow. You talked about being in the bullpen early on. I would imagine it's got to be way different the way you go about your work and that kind of thing when you know when you're going to get the ball. How has that been for you getting back into a starting
loving it
situation?
Yeah, I'm loving it. I grew up since high school. I was a starter. Coming through the minor leagues, I was a starter. And then obviously up in the big leagues for a couple of years, I was a starter. So, and I've never really struggled all the way up through high school and, running through the minor leagues when I was younger. And, coming up. So, it's just one of those things to get out there and just kind of, work on your craft. And being able to get that routine under your belt, every 5 days, you're going to get the rock. So it's I feel it's a lot more comfortable for me to go out there knowing I'm going to get out there and start the game and, pitch as deep as I can in this ball game.
That said, you feel like it's more a matter of when, not if, you get back up? If not with Atlanta, hopefully it is, but if not with them, with somebody?
Yeah. I've never doubted myself at all. So it's just whenever that opportunity comes, and when that opportunity does come, I'll be ready for it. Like I said, I just got to go day by day and worry about my work here, and everything else is going to work itself out.
What kind of work do they have you doing? Obviously, you said some of your mechanics and stuff. Does Atlanta feel good about a certain pitch or a certain set of pitches that you have that they really want you to focus on, or what's that like?
Yeah, I've never really added a pitch or did anything different. I would say the only thing different is I brought my four seam back, which I've always thrown a four seam. Then I went to Seattle and I started throwing a two seam, which I've seen a lot of success from doing that. But the way I'm throwing the ball now, I'm starting to get better spin on my four seam. So bringing that back into play and being able to buzz guys up top whenever I need to, and then go back to pitching, it's been beneficial for me, especially my last outing. I've seen it work. Kind of mixing speeds, working in and out, and then going up top whenever I need to at the perfect moment, and just kind of catching those guys off guard. So nothing's really changed. Maybe a little bit of mechanical cues and pretty much timing and rhythm, but when I'm synced up and when I'm on time, the ball does exactly what I want it to do.
How much of an impact does the pitch clock have with timing?
Yeah. I'm kind of used to it.
Sure.
Last year I pitched with it, so my first couple games I was getting banged early on. I walked a couple dudes 3-2 count, because the clock, things like that. But now it's kind of just second nature. Get the ball, get on the rubber, and pitch. I know the fans love it.
When good things, when you've got momentum, it's good. When you don't, and you need to take a minute, sometimes it can be bad.
Right. When you need that extra breath, sometimes it's kind of tough. But like I said, that's just how the game's going, and us as players, we got to be able to adapt. So.
Former Tullahoma standout Justice Sheffield joining us here on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. And if you've been in Middle Tennessee for an extended period of time, you recognize the Sheffield name out of Tullahoma. Tony Sheffield, former second-round draft pick of Boston back in '92. Your brother Jordan, drafted out of Vanderbilt. And Jackson kind of pushing both of y'all, huh?
Yeah. He's getting there.
And
sure.
And then Travis, in his first year as head coach over at Cascade, led the champions to their district championship. So baseball royalty down in Tullahoma. But with Tony and with Jordan in particular, how did that help in your development and in your transition into professional baseball?
Yeah. Well, Tony, he was number one. When I was a little kid, hearing that he got drafted and he was, an outstanding baseball player out of Tullahoma, I instantly, gravitated towards that. And every time I seen him, I was like in shock, even though he would be coming over for Thanksgiving every year and for the holidays. I see him all the time, but he still had like this different kind of aura. When I was growing up, everybody knew that was Tony, baseball player. So I knew I always wanted that. And then obviously with my brother Jordan, us only being 11 and a half months apart, growing up, it was a competitive household, between us. And Jordan growing up was still to this day probably the most athletic baseball player, football player I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
He could do it all, and just kind of step out on the field one day, not even really practice or anything like that, and just go do it.
Mm-hmm.
He was just kind of born to ball out. but then I wanted that too. That jealousy kind of set in. So that's kind of where my drive came from. Was I wanted to be doing what he was doing, if not better, because seeing guys dap him up after the game, after having a good game, things like that, and I'm on the field too. I wanted that. So we definitely push each other, and as we gotten older, just being able to play against each other in pro ball, and watch him perform on the biggest stage. Now we're each other's biggest supporters, and it's been a good run.
We were talking off air before you came on with us. You live here in Nashville during the off season, and you talked about the number of professional and Major League Baseball players that there are here in this town over the off season. Obviously, Vanderbilt and the setup over there for off season training is huge. But what is it about Nashville that makes this the place to be for folks who really have no ties to the town at all?
Yeah, I just think it's the city in general. For me, just being right down the road, I'm close. I can go back home and eat grandma's food, on Sunday nights if I need to.
Except this weekend with Bonnaroo.
Right. Yeah.
Just don't even get on 24.
Don't go down 24 this weekend.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Find a new route.
But no, Nashville's just a great city, man. It's got everything you need. The weather's perfect. Like I said, for baseball players, you got the setup at Vandy. They got a pro locker room. They got a clubby. Coach Corbin, he allows guys that didn't even go to school there to come work out there, which is
guys that
cool.
signed there and then didn't come.
Yeah, exactly.
Clearly holds no grudges.
Nah, trust me, I was nervous first couple of years when I was trying to go in there. I was like, oh man, he might not. Yeah, he might not.
I think he understands first rounders don't come to Vanderbilt.
But no, like guys like Adam Frazier, went to Mississippi State. He likes pro guys to be in front of his college players to kind of show them that we still do work and things like that.
Do you work with Ethan Small, who lives in Spring Hill? Does he work out up there with you guys?
Small.
He pitches with Nashville now, but he lives in Spring Hill. So I was curious.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever seen him up there. Okay. I do know the name. I do know that he plays here.
He's from Lexington.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
You never know. Mississippi State guy lives here in Spring Hill, so
yeah, he probably goes up.
He's
there,
probably been there a time or two, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure he has.
That's interesting, man. And you get the ball tomorrow. It's got to be cool to be able to pitch in what is your de facto hometown.
Yeah.
You got to feel like folks are going to be excited to see you. I'm sure there's going to be a pretty heavy Tullahoma contingent just trying to get out of Manchester, if nothing else.
Right.
But how cool is that to be able to pitch in front of the hometown crowd?
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, this is the closest by far I've played since high school. And
not easy to get to Tacoma or Seattle.
Yeah, no, not at all. My immediate family and my grandparents, they came out to Seattle, but none of my boys, they came up to New York, but none of my boys or really people from back home has really got to see me besides like on TV or if they're following like that. So I've had people hit me up all week.
So that's what I was going to ask you. What's the ticket list going to look like for tomorrow?
Man,
you going to wind up paying to play tomorrow or what?
That's what it sounded like, honestly. That's what it sounded like. But nah, I'm super excited. I'm pumped up. Just the everyone hit me up and everybody's so excited, to get to see me pitch. I'll definitely be out there, super pumped and ready to get after it.
Now, how do you deal with that? Now, because again, you're going to be super pumped. You're going to have a lot of folks here. I think I've just made an executive decision here in the last few minutes. I'm coming down tomorrow night. But I mean, that there's going to be folks watching you.
Yeah.
Not necessarily watching the Braves, not necessarily watching the game.
Yeah.
Watching you.
Yeah.
How do you stay within yourself under those circumstances?
Man, I've been pitching since I was in Little League. I mean, I feel like I've had people watching me since coming up. Debuts and pitching in big leagues and pitching on Sunday Night Baseball, things like that. There's people always watching, so I feel like it's no different. I feel like it's actually going to bring out, you know, a little bit of energy, a little bit of something different out of me. You know, I'm super excited to go out there and just, you know, focus and perform, and most of all, have a good time. I feel like it's going to be a good time out there on the mound.
I'm going to go way back here. What is it like to make your debut with the New York Yankees, Yankee Stadium? And it's got to be just insane.
Yeah, that was. I mean, sometimes I still can't even believe that I did that. Honestly, like it was wild. It was against the Red Sox too.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, in Yankee Stadium. So,
no pressure.
Right.
He will never step into another atmosphere ever that will be more intense than that.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Well,
unless you pitch in the World Series, it's
unless
probably
we in the playoff. Yeah, unless we in the playoffs, you know, in the future. But no, it was crazy, you know. And coming up with the Yankees was amazing. Great organization. You know, obviously it was the New York Yankees. But putting on those pinstripes, man, you just feel a different type of. Yeah, it just felt way different. But no, the debut was sick. The family was there, and you know, I actually got the last out was against Mookie Betts, which was kind of crazy, you know, like kind of full circle.
And now did you know Mookie prior to?
So he played in Team Tennessee, and the year before I did, and then when I played for Team Tennessee, we both had the same host family. So I always knew who Mookie was, like, you know, coming up, things like that. Never played with him or against him until that day, and then, you know, when he got in the box and he, you know, gave me a little nod, so, you know, he knew, but, you know, just kind of crazy how the game works out, you know.
That is
baseball
crazy.
has a funny way.
It really does. So have you bowled with him since?
No, I wouldn't even want to go near that. That dude's unreal at everything.
He is stupidly talented.
Yeah.
That's it.
And Justice, we appreciate you taking some time with us this afternoon, and did not realize when I asked you that you were starting tomorrow. I hope we're not keeping you from any prep or anything.
This is my so-called spa day. So
it's spa day?
Yeah, my spa day. I'm not doing much today.
Okay. Little Manny and Petty, that kind of thing.
Little chill day.
Got to look good tomorrow for all the family and friends coming to town, right?
Yep.
10,500 will be strong in here tomorrow night. There's no question. It'll be a sellout crowd, and it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Oh yeah, can't wait.
So thank you again for taking time with us, and we look forward to seeing you on the bump tomorrow.
Appreciate y'all.
It's Justus Sheffield joining us here on Main Street Sports today. We're going to take a quick break. 1 minute, Justin. When we come back, we'll look ahead to the weekend Men's College World Series and whatever else might be happening. We'll tell you about it right here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint.
I'm so excited about this new show.
Dino Trek is back again this year. It's bigger than we've ever had it before.
When they're about 5 months old, we'll start seeing them sticking their head out of the pouch, or you might see a foot come out or a tail.
It's like an Airbnb for Joey's. Now, you're not going to see all three of them together because cats in general don't get along unless it's time to get along, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Lions and tigers and bears.
Oh, my.
Well, we're 2/3 of the way there. Animals, nature, and fun. That's what we're all about. But during that time, we hope that you also learn something, that you're inspired to want to learn something.
What's new at the zoo with Jim Bar 2.
Welcome back in Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We are in the Mobile Lee Company studio at First Horizon Park here on the Brower Lounge Sky Deck here at First Horizon Park. There's not a better view in the building.
No, there's really not. This is fun. I've not watched a game from here. I need to address that. I guess I need to just crash somebody's party down here.
You can just find somebody. That's right. Again, Main Street Media as a collective will be here on Sunday for Family Fun Day. So make sure to come out, see us. We'll show you how to download our app if you have not done that yet. You can also check out me throwing out the first pitch. I'm already getting the old shoulder warmed up. Been doing that for about 2 weeks. We'll see how it goes. Mo, before we get into World Series real quick, we talked a little bit yesterday about the U.S. Open and L.A. Country Club. Wyndham Clark currently holds the lead, but Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele have not even teed off yet. So they're sitting at 8 under par. But I was reading a tweet that talks about LA Country Club and their rules. And it has got to be the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. The Los Angeles Country Club does not allow any celebrities to join. If you're a celebrity, no can do. $250,000 to get into the club.
Who defines whether you're a celebrity or not?
That's a great question. I don't know. But no celebrity. So if you're even close, no can do, sir. No shorts, tailored pants only.
No shorts at LA Country Club.
Tailored pants only. Men must wear a sport coat in the clubhouse after 6 p.m. And by men, they mean anyone over 7 years old. So your 8-year-old that's screaming and crying about wearing a sports coat, too bad, so sad, love dad, got to stay. Or you got to go home. One of the two. But if you do go home, you can't change your shoes in the parking lot.
You can't change your shoes in the parking
right.
lot. You have to change your shoes in the clubhouse.
In the clubhouse. No changing of the shoes in the parking lot. No headphones. No earbuds. No athletic clothes or apparel with slogans. No photos or videos of the club on social media. And no cash is used on the property outside of paying caddies. And, oh, by the way, can't tip them.
You can't tip the caddies?
No tipping the caddies.
They probably don't have very many caddies.
I bet they make enough money that tipping doesn't matter.
I guess.
So,
you know, this club kind of reminds me of the late great W.C. Fields. And I'm looking for the quote because I want to get it exactly right, but it's something about not wanting to be a member of any club that would have me. That doesn't sound very enjoyable to me.
It's certainly interesting. Also, the land where LA Country Club sits worth $8 billion.
With a B.
With a B. Do you know how much property tax they pay annually? $220,000. A law signed in 1975
by a member of the LA Country Club,
absolutely
without
100%. All nonprofit golf clubs, were they kind of like they stuck the price that year, and it hasn't changed since, other than inflation or 2%, whichever is more. They pay $220,000, but it's probably the only green space in downtown Los Angeles. So, I mean, wildlife needs somewhere to go. But it's wild, man. Anyway, I just thought that was crazy. And Wyndham Clark, again, still 9 under at the U.S. Open, but Ricky Fowler and Xander Schauffele with the U.S. Open record 8 under round yesterday. So, Mo, before we get out of here, College World Series, Vols tomorrow. They'll get LSU and Paul Skeens, which of course means Tennessee's going to win this game because nobody, including me or anybody else, is giving them a chance. So you're either gonna be not shocked or pleasantly surprised. One of the two.
Yeah, I mean, It's kind of like Ron McGee was saying yesterday. I mean, Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in college baseball right now, and go get him. But Tennessee seems to really respond to that role pretty well. They really embrace that us against the world. They kind of try to create that us against the world, persona. And so this would be as much that as anything. So
at the end of the 6th inning, Oral Roberts and TCU tied at 2.
Oral Roberts and TCU, who are both in the top 4 of the Jello shots competition.
Can we just talk about Oral Roberts and their Jello shot obsession? Because apparently there is one. I was unaware.
I told y'all I was fascinated by how Oral Roberts and Texas Christian were going to hold up in that competition.
Now, if Texas Christian wins the College World Series, will you give them TCU back?
Maybe. We'll see.
That's the real question. Asking the tough questions here on Main Street Sports today.
As of noon, Texas Christian was 2nd in the Jello shot competition. Oral Roberts is 4th. Wake is 3rd. Obviously, the leader and prohibited favorite is LSU. So I'm as fascinated by this as I am by the College World Series.
Oh yeah, this is way up there on the list of cool things going on in Omaha right now.
Yeah,
and it wouldn't be if Ole Miss and Arkansas hadn't had their knockdown drag out last year. This would be, but I will say this: they did go up on the price, $4.50 now because inflation and all. So it's $4.50 for a shot now. Tennessee not doing so hot.
Tennessee's not doing so hot, but they don't play till tomorrow. And as somebody pointed out, Tennessee had to go to Clemson and had to go to Hattiesburg, and so their fans are a little tapped out right now. They may be getting in the morning.
Yeah, the money situation might not be as good as others. We've got about 50 seconds left, Mo, and before we get out of here, because this is going to be a topic of discussion on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
But first, who's going to win the College World Series? You say you wasn't going to pick, but I'm going to make you pick. Come on.
Yeah. I think it's tough to go against LSU right now.
That's it, LSU. I'm with you. I'm with the Tigers. Go GEAUX. Go Tigers.
Although I would not mind being wrong.
Oh,
starting tomorrow night,
especially if it was the orange team winning it.
Yeah,
because I'm just looking forward to insufferable times 10 of all Twitter.
Ooh, man.
All right, 20 seconds. Pete Thamel, sources. San Diego State gave the Mountain West written notice this week that the school intends to resign from the Mountain West Conference. SDSU asked the Mountain West for a 1-month extension given unforeseen delays involving other collegiate athletic conferences beyond our control. We'll talk about that and much, much more on Monday. We'll see you then, Mo.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.